Hello again. Really simple video this time. I've had quite a few people over the years, and this may seem silly, but it's not silly at all, asking me about shotguns, which are over and unders or side-by-sides that only fire one barrel. So this is a Browning Superposed 20 gauge. It's got some kind of custom stock, but that's another story. So let's say that we open the action and we close the action and we fire. Now I don't know whether that destroys the firing pin or not, it doesn't matter, I'll put another one in. We open it and it kicks out one cartridge. You can see the ejector has fired only one cartridge. So the people say the gun is broken because we close it, we fire it, and the second barrel does not fire. There's nothing happening. Now, most people would say it's not a big deal and wouldn't understand why it's not a big deal. But I'm just going to explain. So there are two types of single trigger mechanisms. One is mechanical and one is inertia. This is an inertia design. This is a Superposed by John Browning. I think it might have been one of his last designs. So I'll go over the whole operation. You open the action. It's cocked. You close the action. You fire the action. You fire the gun. You only get one shot. And you think something's gone wrong. Now, that's only because we're not using live rounds. This gun is fired by this mechanism, this single trigger is activated by recoil. So I'm going to move the gun over here and I'm going to tap the floor. When I tap the floor, I simulated recoil. Now the second barrel fires. Now you can see the second barrel fires because both ejectors work. So some people say, what happens if you load a shot shell and it doesn't go off? And the fact is, in this design, if your first shot doesn't go off, there will be no recoil, and therefore your single trigger mechanism will not shift to the second barrel. But how often does the first shot not go off? I think our ammunition is pretty reliable. And the concept is a good one. That means we only need one mechanism in here that duplicates its function as opposed to two mechanisms. Do I like this? I actually don't like this. I like a mechanical trigger where both, so I pull that trigger and I get a second firing action from a mechanical action which shifts to another spring. And of course we can take this all apart, but we're not going to do that here, it's too boring. So that's an inertia trigger. The first barrel must fire, then the trigger resets and you get the second barrel. So Browning Superposed, in case you get stuck and you're sitting at your desk and you can't figure out why the second barrel doesn't fire, you don't have to phone me. You can just watch this video, it'll work. Another shotgun, I came across this shotgun in my vault because I was looking at this one, and I don't see many videos on these Winchesters. This is a model 1300, and then there's the model 2200 and all these different model numbers. And it has an aluminum receiver. Some people like steel, like the Remington 870. Some people like the Benelli products. But I have to tell you, this is sort of an unsung hero. This has a rotating bolt. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but the bolt rotates, it locks, it's smooth. I don't work for Winchester or Browning or anybody. This is a fantastic action, and it's not locking into an aluminum receiver, it's locking into a barrel extension. The barrel, of course, has to be steel because the barrel holds the pressure of the cartridges. And this particular model, I've used lots. It doesn't really show much use. I guess there's some marks on the anodizing finish on the aluminum, but exceptional shotgun. And I just thought I'd show it to you because I'm not always hunting with super expensive Superposed. In fact, this thing has an improved cylinder choke, removable choke. You have to use a tool to spin this out. And the reason I use improved cylinder is with steel shot, the patterns. Of course, I take it to the range and I pattern for waterfowl. So this looks more like an upland gun, but with steel shot, I use it for ducks and it's completely effective. Maybe this isn't the best, you know, this anodizing, it always ends up getting marked somehow, but I mean, guns are meant to be used and nothing lasts forever. So anyhow, the Winchester pump action, I think they still make it, and it's as good as it ever was, and they just don't seem to ever break down. I've never had a problem. I've had a half dozen of these, and for waterfowling, extremely effective. 2 3/4 and 3 inch. I don't think they make a 3.5 inch, but I could be wrong. Anyhow, pretty simple video, and maybe different from the ones I usually make. Thanks for watching.